Welcome back to Carscope, where precision, speed, and passion collide with the sharpest reviews in the game. Today, we're diving into a machine that practically redefined the modern supercar when it first emerged. A car that earned nicknames like Godzilla and built its legend on lap times, relentless engineering, and brute force performance. The 2026 Nissan GT-R Nismo is here, and while it may look familiar, this car is the ultimate evolution of a platform that's been honed for nearly 2 decades. So, is this aging beast still a giant slayer, or has the competition finally caught up? Let's find out together as we get under the skin of the newest, most extreme GT-R Nissan has ever made. Right away, the GT-R Nismo doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't have to. Its stance alone tells you it's something special. The 2026 model continues to refine the aggressive aesthetic with subtle but critical changes. Up front, the face is sharper and cleaner, thanks to revised LED lighting with a new DRL signature. The iconic V-motion grille has been slightly reshaped for improved airflow, now framed in dark carbon accents. What looks like a minor facelift is actually wind tunnel-tested air enhancement. The redesigned bumper integrates massive air intakes, feeding cooling ducts for the engine, brakes, and intercoolers. It's all functional, all purposeful. Look lower, and the carbon fiber front splitter isn't just aggressive via its downforce in solid form. That entire lower lip has been redesigned to balance the aerodynamic load more evenly across the body. Even the hood vents have been reshaped to pull hot air more efficiently while reducing lift at speed. Everything here is there for a reason, and the closer you look, the more you realize just how much engineering is baked into every curve. Swing around to the side, and you'll notice those forged 20-inch raised wheels with a unique black and red finish, wrapped in Dunlop SP Sport Max GT 600 tires developed specifically for this model. Behind the spokes sit massive Brembo carbon ceramic brake case of 410mm rotors up front, the largest ever fitted to a Nissan production vehicle. The side skirts are sculpted in exposed carbon fiber with red accents tracing their edge, a Nismo signature detail that's subtle yet race-inspired. The roofline flows uninterrupted into the rear quarter, giving the car a sense of motion even when standing still. And the fender flares? They're not exaggerated, but they pack just enough muscle to hint at the capability underneath. From this angle, the car looks like it's crouched, coiled, and ready to pounce. As we reach the rear, the GT-R Nismo's iconic quad taillights make a bold return, upright, circular, unmistakable. The carbon fiber rear wing sits higher now, adjusted for better airflow and increased downforce at high speeds. The rear bumper has been resculpted to accommodate an even larger rear diffuser, with vertical fins channeling turbulent air into controlled vortices. It's the kind of rear end you could stare at for hours and still find new functional details hiding beneath the surface. The 4 titanium exhaust tips sit like cannons, large, proud, and ready to announce the GT-R's fury. When this thing fires up, it doesn't whisper, it growls like something alive. The back of this car doesn't just follow the front and finishes the story in capital letters. It's bold, brutal, and unmistakably Nismo. Step inside the 2026 GT-R Nismo, and you're greeted by a space that's more cockpit than cabin. It's not luxurious in the traditional sense, but it's purposeful in every detail. Nissan's gone with a darker theme this year: Alcantara across the dash, door inserts, and headliner. Contrast red stitching runs throughout the cabin, and there's carbon fiber on the center console and door sills to reinforce the race-ready feel. The Recaro bucket seats are serious business. High bolsters, carbon backing, Alcantara surface as if these seats hug you tight, and once you're strapped in, you're not moving. They're not just for looks. On the track, they hold you planted and focused. You'll feel everything the car is doing, just like you should in something with this level of performance. In front of the driver is a flat-bottomed steering wheel wrapped in grippy suede-like material, with a red center marker at 12 o'clock. Paddle shifters mounted to the column give you that race car feel, and they're large, clicky, and satisfying. The instrument cluster is digital but styled to mimic analog gauges, with a large central tachometer that redlines above 7,000 revolutions per minute and a configurable display showing G-forces, boost pressure, and lap timing data. The infotainment system has been updated but remains secondary to the drive. It's an 8-inch touchscreen with navigation, smartphone integration, and Nissan Connect functions. But let's be honest, if you're using the screen for more than lap telemetry, you're doing it wrong. Physical buttons and knobs remain, and the climate controls are refreshingly old school in the best way. There's even a bit of practicality. The rear seats, let's call them symbolic. They exist, sure, but they're better used for a helmet and a racing jacket than for passengers. Cargo space is usable for a weekend bag or two. But again, if this car isn't built to carry groceries, it's built to carry speed. Now, to the part you've all been waiting for. The GT-R Nismo is still powered by the hand-assembled 3.8-liter twin-turbocharged V6, known internally as the VR38Det. But this isn't just any version of the engine. This is the Nismo Tune version, built by Nissan's Takumi Master Engine Builders. And it produces a heart-stopping 600 horsepower and 481 pound-feet of torque. It's the same engine used in the GT3 race car, and it feels every bit as focused. The turbos themselves are derived from the GT3 spec units, with optimizations for faster spool and better top-end breathing. Power delivery is violent when you want it to be. Relentless boost that comes on early and never seems to fade. The all-wheel drive system remains Nissan's Atessa ETS, which can send up to 100% of power to the rear wheels or split it front and back as needed. It's a system so finely tuned that it anticipates traction loss before it happens. The result is otherworldly grip, even in conditions that would unsettle lesser machines. The 6-speed dual-clutch transmission has been recalibrated for quicker shifts, and when you're hammering through gears with the pedals, each shift hits with a mechanical thud that reminds you this isn't just some overstyled grand tourer. Launch control still drops jaws as 0 to 60 happens in about 2.5 seconds, and the car keeps pulling deep into triple digits without hesitation. The soundtrack is pure turbocharged violence, punctuated by the crack of gear changes and the whistle of boost. Handling, think razor sharp. The suspension setup is race car firm, with Bill-signed Damtronic shocks tuned specifically for the Nismo. You feel every bump, every camber change, and that's a good thing. This car talks to you. The steering, while electrically assisted, is quick, weighty, and direct. Turn-in is crisp, and once loaded up, the car rotates predictably, encouraging you to push harder, drive cleaner. It's clinical but still emotional. Braking is outstanding, thanks to the carbon ceramics. There's zero fade on the street, and under repeated hard braking, the pedal stays firm and communicative. This car wants to be tracked. It dares you to explore its limits, and even when you do, it remains composed and balanced. All of this performance does come at a price. The 2026 Nissan GT-R Nismo starts at around $222,000. That's supercar money, no doubt. But then again, you are getting supercar performance. And unlike most exotics, the GT-R Nismo is usable. It doesn't demand perfect weather or racetrack perfect pavement. It starts every time, drives through traffic without fuss, and can be serviced without needing a PhD in Italian engineering. Compared to the likes of the Porsche 911 Turbo S or the Acura NSX Type S, the GT-R Nismo might feel older in terms of tech, but it makes up for it with raw, unfiltered performance. It's not the prettiest, not the most luxurious, but it's brutally effective. And that's the point. After nearly 2 decades, the GT-R has refused to fade away. With every new version, Nissan has sharpened the blade, and the 2026 Nismo might just be the final and most lethal cut. It's a monument to old-school engineering and new-school refinement. A car built not to impress spec sheets but to dominate apexes. So, what's the verdict? The 2026 Nissan GT-R Nismo is not just a car, it's a legacy. It's raw, it's precise, and it's still one of the most capable machines on the road, even in the face of electrified supercars and flashy newcomers. If you're looking for a driving experience that's unfiltered, mechanical, and ferociously fast, there's nothing quite like it. That wraps up our deep dive here at CarScope. If you enjoy the ride, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more high-octane reviews coming your way. Until next time, keep it pinned, and stay scoped in.